This is the SES Defender of Freedom uploading data log for day 68 and 69 of the Galactic War. Hello Data Archive. After establishing the Menkent Line, we have seen Helldivers freely spread democracy across the galaxy, as this deterred further automaton attacks. However, in the last day, the bots have mobilized to strike us with a new animatronic monstrosity. We will begin this data log with the events on day 68. With the successful liberation and defense of Lesatham and Kent, we established the Menkent Line, which appears to have pulled the plug on the cowardly Toaster's advances into our territory. On day 68, we needed only to hold the two planets until our SEF engineers had time to set up the orbital defense measures. The bots seemed flustered in their failed attempts to break the line, and did not attempt to attack any planets again for the remainder of the day. As a result, Helldivers were able to enjoy a day of liberating the galaxy as they pleased. On the automaton front, Helldivers deployed to Martale,
the Martal system,
Martal, as well as Marfark in the Andromeda sector, as well as Chuhi,
the Chuha system,
Chuhe, Court Bay, and Penta in the Lakai sector, with the majority of Helldivers focused on the Andromeda sector to secure our flank. Helldivers worked hard to rebuild what had been lost in the recent Heartless Toaster attacks on our planets, and over the course of the day, significant progress was made in Martal and Marfark. On the Terminid front, Crimsico was liberated in the early morning of day 68, regaining us full control of the Draco sector. Further liberation campaigns were launched in Osha Une and Hellmire, with the majority of Helldivers on the Terminid front deploying to Osha Une. Osha Une's liberation would reach 35% by the end of the day. I suppose the E710 farms on Osha Une might be a bit easier to handle than the ones on Hellmire. On day 69, the insects had yet another uprising in 4A Prime, beginning a defense in the early morning. Back on the automaton front, Martal reached 80% liberation, and shortly afterwards, High Command announced the success of the Major Order. Due to the valiant efforts of the Helldivers, our SEF engineers were given enough time to establish rudimentary orbital defenses along the Menkent Line. In Vernon Wells, our multiple successful defenses has allowed the SEF Forward Command Base to be up and running as our primary base of operations on the automaton front. Following this, new major orders were delivered. The bots are reeling from our countermeasures, and they appear to have altered their plan of attack. Rather than dispersing across multiple planets, the bots have made a concentrated effort on stopping our liberation of Marfark in hopes of breaking through the defenses on our open flank. We are directed by High Command to hold the planet at all costs. Helldivers are seeing a very strong presence of the automatons on Marfark, making it much more difficult to liberate the planet. This caused a difficult choice for the Helldivers. With the near liberation of Martal, the choices were to continue progress in its liberation or refocus efforts to support the Major Order to liberate Marfark. Helldivers made the decision to follow High Command's direction in the Major Order and deploy primarily in Marfark. Shortly after, an intelligence brief was shared to all super destroyers regarding a new cowardly attack measure from the Socialist Appliances. They have deployed a new unit called the Factory Strider. We suspect the previously seen renditions of the Strider were a prototype that the bots have now finalized, with the massive abominations now coming out in droves. It is a heavily armored walking automaton fabricator that is capable of fabricating devastators while on the move. High Command cautions engaging with the animatronic beasts with only coordinated firepower and unhesitating aggression. We are now seeing them appear in large numbers across the planet as the bots attempt an all-out assault to punch through our defenses. But against all odds, the Helldivers were up to the task to outsmart and destroy this new threat. Throughout the remainder of the day, progress on Marfark has been slow and steady, and we expect to see its liberation in the early hours of day 70. This concludes this data log for day 68 and 69 Data Archive. We must stay strong in Marfark. Following its liberation, we need to be prepared for further automaton attacks. They are throwing everything they have at us to break through. Hold the line, Helldivers.